Okay, I'm not.
Yes,
Are you guys there? Okay, yeah. So my name is Shishir Bijalwan. I'm currently working in San Jose, California. I am a graduate of 2012 HBTI Kanpur. Briefly, I did my bachelor's in electrical engineering in HBTI. After that, I went for master's. I worked for 2.5 years briefly in Infosys in India. Then I went for my master's at Syracuse University. I graduated in 2018, and since then I'm working in PayPal. Just to give you a brief idea what PayPal does, most of you guys know Paytm, right? So Paytm is a wallet in India, which started around, I guess, in 2000, around sometime in 2000. But PayPal was started long back. How many guys know Elon Musk? You guys know the name Elon Musk? Guys, you don't know
yes,
Elon?
sir. We know very.
You know? Yeah. So Elon Musk
Yes, sir.
is a very visionary person. He started PayPal in 1998. 1998, as I remember my childhood, I never thought that we will have ATMs also in my area. I don't know if I had seen a debit card then, but this guy was such a visionary that he thought of that digital payments in 1998, and he with his friend started PayPal in 1998, and which was taken over by eBay in 2002, and eBay got separated again in 2015. And since then, PayPal is running a different company, and eBay is running as a different company. So I know you guys have done these presentations before also, and most of the times people would have come and talked about their companies, what they have done out here. So, but the current scenario that is going on in India, India not only in India, it's all over the world. The coronavirus situation, people are talking about, students who are giving exams for getting admissions or board examinations, but none of them talk about the students that are currently in engineering college. It impacts us a lot. Coronavirus situations might be impacting third year and final year students pretty badly. So I thought that what I can tell you guys, what situations I faced during my time, and hope you guys can, learn something from it, and you can utilize that that particular knowledge in your life. So yeah, if you read these all things, HBDI, Kanpur, Syracuse University, PayPal, you guys might be thinking this guy is having a life. He might be doing great in college, great in life, and he's having an enjoyment life. Am I thinking correct? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Let me show you, just give you a bit of recap, what I was, what I went through, and how the life questions each and every one of us. It's not just you guys that are going through something at this point of lifetime, but each and every one who is doing something in his life has gone through a period, and it's all about staying positive, doing your best, and everything passes away. So yeah, just to give you what I was there. So I got admitted in HBDI in 2008 in electrical engineering. In third year of my bachelor's, I was diagnosed with color blindness. Many of you won't know that what color blindness is. Color blindness is a situation, or it's basically a genetical disease where a person have a problem in differentiating between red and green color, yellow and white, and there are different kinds of color blindness. So I had red and green color blindness. So just to give you a knowledge about it, that a person who is colorblind cannot work in electrical engineering. So if you go to this slide and see that I was doing my bachelor's in electrical engineering, and third year of my engineering, I came to know I cannot work in any company as an electrical engineer ever in my life. Just imagine how much pressure situation would have been for me, that all the things that I've studied till now are of waste, because if I'm going to join any organization, for example, if I join NTPC or if I join the DMRC or any other organization, I'll be cheating them by not telling them that I'm colorblind and I'm joining the organization. Apart from that, all your hard work goes to vain. All the things that you learned for 3 years are useless. it was a very big setback in my student life. But somehow I realized, okay, maybe this was not meant for me. I thought I would change my stream. Third year, I started looking a bit of coding, but it's very difficult for an electrical engineer to understand code. So whatever I was, I took one subject, only one subject I remember that was optional in final year. It was object-oriented programming, and I know how I passed that subject. Means what I learned, I didn't learn anything in that subject. But I thought like, okay, let's join some company where I can learn something. So the first company that came to my college that time in September, I guess, was Infi. And I thought like, let's go join Infosys. They have a very good academics teaching programs, and it will help me to learn. Got placed in Infi. When I graduated, I came to know that year Infi is not doing good, and they are not going to take the people who are graduating at the same time, so they were delaying our joinings. So first they delayed it to February, then they delayed it to May. And during that 1 year, a graduate student goes through how much amount of pressure, I know that. But how to utilize that things, I will tell you in the later part. Third thing, so I always wanted to do masters in a bit, and
So you are not audible.
इट जस्ट हैंग्ड. अभी वो 2 मिनट में रीस्टार्ट करते हैं, आप डोंट वरी, 2 मिनट में करते हैं.
Okay.
अभी वो आ रहे हैं सर, उनका थोड़ा आगे.
hello, sorry guys, I dropped out. Are you able to listen to me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so where I was exactly, do you guys remember what I was talking about?
You were talking that how you master.
Masters, okay. so that you guys were till there. Let's go to page back. Are you able to see the page?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so this slide, winner versus losers, this is the slide that has played a very important role in my life. I first time saw this slide when I was in 8th standard, and after that, I guess bachelor's also I saw it once. So I always keep this slide in my mind whenever I'm in a situation where I need to make decisions. First point in this one is I was wrong. Start accepting your mistakes, things that you have not done correctly. For example, if you have not done something, you are not given 100% in particular subject, and you feel that could have given better, accept it, or accept something that you have done something else wrong. Start taking ownership of your things, right? Don't say that it was not my fault, it was raining, that's why I got late, or some other bahana you say. Just don't make excuses. Try to do things by your own, and never say that I was not wrong. If you are wrong, accept it, correct it. Second thing I say is commitment. It's very important. If don't have commitment towards your goal, it's gonna have you hit a big time, man. I can tell you, when I started my bachelor's, we had one professor in college, Professor Sanjeev Kumar, and one thing that I learned from him was time. No matter what, if I have given some person a time at 9:30, I will be there. I make my commitment no matter what. And it's not that I have been like this all my life, but I started learning from people and I did like that. I can tell you that Professor Mr. Sanjeev Saxena, he never used to allow a student enter a class if he is second late also, no matter what. If you're a second late, you cannot enter the class. And that's something that I learned, and I make it commitment in all my meetings till there that you have to be a minute early. You cannot be a minute late. Second point is let me do it. So one thing that I have learned in my life is that many times we try to get away from things and let other people do it for us. Stop having that attitude. Start taking things seriously and take. For example, the best thing that I remember is assignments. You guys might be getting college assignments. Start doing it yourself. If other people are not able to do it, just learn yourself and teach it to others. It will help you to get your concepts better all the time. The other thing is, I must do something. Never sit silent. If something wrong is happening, if you feel something, some person is doing wrong knowledge, and you see that, oh man, this guy is totally giving a blunder to all of them. Or if you feel that, okay, I should be doing this, but this guy is saying this, so should I do that or not? Don't ever question yourself. If you believe in something, if you feel that this is right, just do it. Don't see the gains. Always, here it says see the gains, other people see the pain. Many times the situation comes in life where there might not be gains. But I feel that there should be a positive environment. For example, suppose there's the subject data structure, hash maps pretty well, But if you're going to teach a topper of your class, you might feel like, what I'm going to gain out of it. That should never be a case. It should be sharing and gaining. Anything that if you share with people, you're going to gain in that, because you're going to reiterate the knowledge that you are having, and it's going to help someday or the other to you only. Either to improve your knowledge, improve your concepts, or, in having a good circle of people around. Team is very important. I have seen it myself in my career, in my life as a student also. People who surround you are very important. If you don't have positive people around you, if you don't have people who have similar aim as you, you will never be able to reach your goals as easily if you were having a team around you. I can tell you my experiences in my college time. my graduate school always very good friends who had aim in their life they want to, and I can tell you that we were 7 or 8 people in HPD, a group of 7 or 8 people, and if you look into them, they are doing fantastic in their careers. Fantastic means some are in railway, some are in others, some are in TBC, some will be in they are fantastic jobs. So try to have good people around you. It brings creativity and it always helps you gain more knowledge. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Guys, I want you guys to speak up. Man, everyone sitting free at home, right? Corona is not doing anything. You guys don't have any questions? Hello? Okay. Let call out for them. Public Tyagi. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell me about your experience. Tell me something about you, what you are doing currently, which if you're doing a bachelor's, which college, which year.
Sir, I'm doing my bachelor's. I'm in third year in Ghaziabad.
Okay. So which year you are in? Third year, final year, first year, second year?
It's third year. Because of lockdown, third year end sem exam are on hold.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, this is the best time for you to prepare for companies and gain much knowledge as you can. Let me know the next. That's the slide which is more important, I guess now, Abhishek, or anybody who is in lockdown and has time. Like you don't know when the lockdown will, when there will be lockdown. So you have 3-4 months. I can tell you guys, just try to set a goal for next 4 months for you guys. And I can tell you, if you are able to set a goal for next 4 months for yourself, attending seminars, attending anything is useless until and unless you are going to do something from that for yourself. So I want every one of you guys, just sit today, sit for 1 hour, set a goal for yourself. When I say set a goal, it can be different for different people. For example, let me take me. I can, as a student, I can take set a goal that I want to learn data structures by the end of semester. As an electrical engineer, somebody can set, okay, I want to learn about machines by the end of semester, by the end of 4 months. Or somebody can set a target like, you can say that, okay, I want to prepare for interviews in this next 4 months. Once you do that, for example, you set a goal that you want to prepare for interviews in next 4 months. The second thing you need to do is divide and conquer. When I say divide and conquer, anything that you set a goal of this level, you cannot do it in one go. You need to set small targets and then you need to achieve them. For example, if you're doing preparation for interviews, first thing you need to divide your interviewing approach. I'm talking about computer science now because I don't remember electronics anymore. It's more of computer science. Try to divide the segments in your goal. For example, for interview process, you can divide that. Okay, I want to read about I'm going to read about array and string for next 15 days. I'm going to solve all the questions related to string and array in next 15 days. Next 15 days, I'm going to take target about hash maps and hash set. After that, 1 month, I'm going to do about tree. Next 1 month, I'm going to talk about, read about graphs. Set the small targets and go for it. And how to go for it is get the basic knowledge first and then go to the problem. Many times we make a mistake of going to the problem first and then understanding the basics. That's the totally wrong approach towards gaining any knowledge, right? Gaining control over any topic, you need to have very good basics. Third thing is commitment. As you have set the goals, divided the goals in next 3 to 4 months, set a commitment. 15 days, if it's in 15 days, if you have to do strings and arrays, don't ever fluctuate from it. If it needs 14 hours a day, give 14 hours a day. If it needs 15 hours a day, give 15 hours a day. But make a commitment and don't give up. Confidence. This is very much needed, man. This is something that nobody can give it to you or nobody can take it away from you. This is something that you have to gain by yourself. And I can give you the example of me, electrical engineering, no knowledge about computers, nothing. And in 2 years of masters, I know better than a person in computers about data structures, algorithms, or any other field in computer science. So always have the confidence, no matter what other people tell you that you cannot do it or you cannot solve it, you should have the confidence that you are going to do it. Never give up attitude. That again is a thing that everyone should have. People fail. Everyone fail. No one in this world has reached to a point without failing. So even though you are going to say, I'm going to crack an interview by the end of 4 months, it might be your first interview you might fail, second interview you might fail, third interview you might fail, but it can never happen in your life that you're going to fail each and every interview. Because if you set this attitude that I'm not going to give up, you're going to crack at the end. And I can promise you, no matter which college, which university you are from, if you have your ammunition correct, if you have your concepts correct, if you have the confidence, I can tell you anybody can crack any company out there. So let me talk about the bread and butter of mine. So PayPal has been an amazing company for me. One of the perks that I feel working at PayPal has been an opportunity to work in a company which is among the Fortune 200 companies. The work environment is pretty chilled out. There is so when I was in India, I used to work 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 or 7, and then I used to go back. There's so much flexibility in my workspace now in PayPal that my manager never asked me what time you're working. The only thing he's concerned is your job is done or not. If you're doing that job in 3 hours, if you're doing that job in 5 years, it doesn't matter to you. Other thing that I find very good about working in PayPal was they never had a leave policy. So, for example, if you work in any company in India, you will have 16 days, 20 days off. That you can take 20 days off in a year. You can take 30 days off in a year. PayPal doesn't have a leave policy. So, I never came to my home for 4 weeks when I was working in India, but when I work in US, I come at least 4 weeks a year to my home. Work environment is fantastic. Everyone is given a target for themselves. You will be working on individual projects. For example, I was working on the availability project. Currently, I'm working on some payment-related projects. So everybody is given complete ownership, as well as on the other part, they give the independence to take decisions. So you work in a where you are not burdened, but you are given the opportunity to prove with the work. You learn things out there. Demanding, definitely. Just to give you an overview, India is $2.5 trillion economy, and PayPal alone does more than $700 billion of transaction in a year. So you can amount how much money PayPal moves around the world. So any mistake that you make impacts a lot of customer out here. So that scrutiny of not making a mistake is pretty high. It's pretty demanding out here. For the people who are from computer science, I can tell you guys these books and platforms that I feel are pretty good. I have myself used LeetCode. If you guys have not used LeetCode, I will highly recommend you to use LeetCode. A couple of benefits of using LeetCode is you get questions bifurcated based on companies. So if you want to do questions of Microsoft or you want to do Amazon or Google, you get that bifurcation done. That what are the questions which were asked in the interviews? Of questions pretty good. They have a lot of questions. The UI is very great. Any guy who's in Bay Area currently is doing this website and tell you this. Any computer science or software engineer in the Bay Area at this moment is doing actors using LeetCode. For coding interview questions, again, I will say go for basics of data structure and algorithms. It's like the Bible of computer science, right? If you don't have data structures and algorithm under your belt, you cannot do coding. The books that I will say, cracking the coding interview, everyone knows that it's a Bible for interviews. The other book, I don't know how much relevant it is to you guys. It's called Gang of Four. It's design pattern. So think of it like normal code you write. Any program that you write, uh, if I compare it with the architecture, if you compare it with the home that you have, your home can be of different structures, right? One will be a okay home, one will be a quite reusable kind of home, sustainable home. That knowledge of how to build a code like that is in this book, Gangs of Four Design Patterns. It's a very, very renowned book. It has like 16 or 17 design patterns which you can use in codings. I would recommend it only once you are good in coding or you can code about programs and all. So this book is basically related to why designing big applications. It helps in building scalable systems, so it can be useful for those guys. Tips for coding interviews. I will tell many people say coding languages doesn't matter, but I say that at least one coding language you should be at super at. Means no matter what, Java, C++, Python, whichever language you want to take. One language, make it a point that you know in and out about it. When I say in and out about it, in the interview perspective is that, hello. Hello. Are you guys able to hear me? Oh, repeat book name. Mukul, rather than typing, it will be easier, if you can speak about it, I can hear it because I will be on the different page. So book's name is, where's the book? So book is Cracking the Coding Interview. I guess you can find it on Amazon. And the second one is Gang of Four Design Pattern. I guess Achint can share the information with you guys so everybody can have it. Yeah, so about the tips for the interviews, basics of data structure and algorithm, it's very important. Go for it. Understand the basic. When I say basic of data structures, I mean that everybody knows what hash map is. But how hash map is actually built from the basic is very important. How do the hashing happens in the background? How they save data? How they handle collisions inside it? That knowledge is very important. Make notes of approaches. You're going to solve 200, 300 questions. I guess by the end of, when you start interviewing, you will be done by 200, 300 questions, but you're not going to remember them. Try to copy that, save that information in a copy so that before the interview you can read it. The basic example I can give it to you here is hash set. You know that hash set can be used to search for a thing in a big of one effort. So next time if you're going to search for anything, you can try to use hash set in that. A big mistake that people do during interviews that they don't ask questions. They feel that, okay, I'm the one who's giving the interview, and I don't ask questions. I just answer the questions. It's not the way interview works. You need to ask questions to the person. You need to ask, okay, so you have given me a problem that a person needs to fly from India to US. Then you need to ask questions to that guy, like, how can he fly from? Means does he need to fly from India to US, or he can go by ship? If he can go by both the ways, does he have any money constraint out there? Does he can spend only 10,000 rupees, or he can spend 50,000 rupees? Or what's the age of the person? So ask questions that can help you form a better solution. Coding interviews are about optimization. Everybody in the market wants the most optimized solution. People don't want to see a brute force, or people don't want to see a n square solution out there. And once you are done with the solution, try to do a dry run. For example, when I say dry run is take an example, give it as an input in front of the interviewer so he knows, so you can walk him through the complete code, and you also can be verify that the solution that you wrote out there is correct. Any questions, anybody? Guys, yes or no? At least a no will work.
Sir, hello.
No? Yeah.
Sir, is marks matter?
Your
Bachelor
voice is
degree
low.
marks. The bachelor degree marks matters.
Bachelor degree marks matters. Bro, I'm a bachelor in electrical engineering. I've done masters in computer engineering. Nobody cares about my bachelor's marks. The only difference bachelor marks makes, it might be the interview criteria to enter the interview might be that, but that will be in companies where they hire 30, 40,000 people. Not in a company like Microsoft or any other company where they will have a criteria. Okay, if you have scored more than 80%, then only we'll call for interview. None of the big companies will ever have this criteria. So do you guys really want to solve a question, or hello?
Sir, I will first get as you know, first almost get a plan to work something. Sir, I want to learn a programming language. Then according to your guidance, please tell me the best platform to learn the language.
I guess if you can type your question, it will be easier because your voice is completely broken. Can you type your question, please?
Okay, sir, I will type.
Yeah. So by the time I don't know his name, he's written RSIT College. He types his question. Anybody else has a question about anything or else? Or anybody else, somebody wants to solve a problem. If you really want, we have 3 problems that I've stated. Any of the 3, if you like, by then we can talk about it and we can talk about the strategy to solve it. Nobody wants to solve a question. Guys, yes, no? Karthik Gupta. Can you hear me, Karthik?
Yes, sir. I'm Shivam, sir. So please tell me about
I guess your voice is breaking. Social show.
Sir, myself Shivam, social Shivam Singh, and sir, please tell me about my question, my answer, my question.
Oh, you have asked a question in the chat.
How can improve the knowledge of making a higher level of
algorithms? So there is a channel called My Code School, which I used when I started learning my after in my masters, when I started learning about data structures and algorithms. There's a channel, YouTube channel called My Code School. Let me type it here, My Code School. Read about it means see the videos of this channel. This guy has explained all the basics of data structures and algorithms in such a beautiful way that I can promise you that if you listen to it once, you're going to have a great time.
But that is also important for a computer science and that is important skill just like algorithm and data structure.
Can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that, please? Hello. I guess he's not able to hear me. By the time, let's answer.
Because algo is a very important. Yes, sir.
Yeah, algorithm is very important. What's the question ahead of it? Is it just a statement? So Nikhil Gangwar has asked, sir, how much communication skills matter in industry? One thing that I can tell you about it in private industry, communication matters a lot. I can say because till you are not able to communicate your idea to somebody, जब तक तो अपनी बात को दूसरे तक पहुंचा नहीं सकते, वो आइडिया बेकार है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर एलॉन मस्क टेस्ला कार बनाने का आइडिया अपने अंदर ही रखता, जो इलेक्ट्रिक कार बनाते हैं उन तक नहीं बहता बता गए, तो इलेक्ट्रिक कार कभी बन पाती, ऑटोमेटेड ड्राइविंग कभी पॉसिबल थी. Communication is very important to transform your idea and to communicate your idea to other people, as well as gain knowledge about it from other people. So the best way I can tell you to improve your communication, that what I did, I was in 9th class, and you guys might know that MBA students have GD discussions happening, right? They prepare for MBA and they have GD discussions. So in 9th class, I used to go to those group discussions and attend that. So just imagine a 13-year-old guy going amongst all the 20, 23, 24 years old people and try to speak with them. So don't be ashamed. People make mistakes while speaking. I do make mistakes. Even Achint might be making mistakes. I don't know Achint about Achint. He might be pretty good with communication. But I do make mistakes many times, but there's nothing to be ashamed of. Try to improve it, try to learn about it, and speak as frequent as you can in English, so that if you speak more in that language, you become more comfortable about speaking in that language. Anant, sir, I have a backlog in maths first year. How will it affect my placement? Man, I don't know about the criteria the companies have these days, but I guess in my time, if you had cleared the backlog by the fourth year, it doesn't used to matter at all. RRSIMT College. So please tell me about the best platform to learn a language. I'm in first year and I'm confused where I can start my journey in coding. I guess what I will say is this point is first thing, it's a very best thing that you are doing in the first year. You are taking up coding because this is a thing that people generally do in third and final year, and by the time they have lost all the knowledge they could have gained in, during that time. So platform for coding, take up any course. I know if you guys know about a site called Coursera. Coursera is there. Even India, there are many sites now who have courses, online courses about language. Yes. Enroll in any language that you want. Try to learn the basics from there. But I will say when you learn coding,
I will go with Python because as with my that I think the English language.
RRSIMP, I'm not able to hear you at all. It's better if you can type it.
Sir, I'm proceeding that I want to go with my inner tell me that Python is having
I'm still not able to understand you, man. Just type your message in the chat. I will answer it.
Okay, sir.
Achinta said HackerRank is fine for beginners. I don't have anything against HackerRank. I have used it myself, but I feel LeetCode is better. So let me tell you this here. LeetCode. Go for this. This is like the amazing platform you can have coding. Means you're going to love the amount of questions out there, just use that. Let me check if I have missed any question out here. Shivam Patel has said, because I know very well that algorithm is so important. Yeah, man, algorithms and data structures are the basics for anything in computer science. They are very important, and try to understand them, try to grab as much knowledge. One thing that I will recommend you guys is read books. What So suppose you are doing merge sort, or you're doing quick sort. Read in a book, implement merge sort or quick sort, whichever you're doing. First, implement. I say implement again and again, because till you don't do it practically, it's useless. All the theoretical knowledge is useless till you don't implement or use it. Try to implement that somewhere and you will see the difference. Once you have implemented, the second place I ask everyone to go is YouTube. Search anything about that thing. So for example, quicksort. Search on YouTube about quicksort. I will tell you, they will learn so many things that are not there in the book, because people would have talked about their experiences out there, what they did, how they optimized quicksort, how they did something different in quicksort. Or the best thing is they will tell you, okay, I've had this problem and I use quicksort to solve it. So it's not just about knowing quicksort, it's about where to use it. So one example I will give you. This question was asked to me in one of my interviews during my internship. They said, you have quicksort and merge sort. Which one are you going to use? I said, I'm going to use quicksort because it's faster. It doesn't need extra memory and all. He said, if you are on a hospital table, you are lying on a hospital table, and now you have a thing that needs to be done. And that thing can be done by quicksort and merge sort. Which algorithm you're going to use? Can anyone of you guys tell which algorithm will you go for? Quicksort or merge sort? In that case, if you need to do a surgery on a person, and that time you're going to take quicksort or merge sort. So I know you guys might not know, but this is what practically using a language is called. You know the data structure, you know the algorithm, but when are you going to use it? So merge sort, just see the worst scenario time of a merge sort and quick sort. You do know your answer. You will go for a merge sort, you will never go for a quick sort in a situation where it's do and die situation. Because you can have a bad worst case scenario for quick sort, but that worst case scenario won't be there for merge sort. So gaining knowledge about algorithm or a data structure is important, but the practical implementation of that is important, I believe. Sir, I am from ECE department. Which language is best to learn? So, Arpan Jain, I can tell you that I cannot say how much ECE department will use modern coding language like Java and all, but I know that they use software like MATLAB and all. So if you can gain knowledge about MATLAB, it will be very helpful for you. Use Geek for Geeks, definitely, man. Geek for Geeks is the one place that I go when I have some concept issue. For algorithms, how can I improve knowledge for making higher level of algos? Algorithms is more about optimization, man. Every time you have a problem, try to solve it. For example, if you want to search for a number in a list, first thing you're going to do, make it an array, go with a for loop, look for it and solve, get it. The complexity of searching will be big of n. Then how can you improve it? You want to get the output in one go. Go for a hash set. Put that data in a set and do a lookup in that. A hash set can do that same job that you are doing in big of n, now in big of 1. So every time you get a problem, try to optimize it. Try to get a better runtime for it. Sir, suggest any book for data structures and implementation using Python. And then I can tell you one thing. I've never used a book for data structures and algorithms. I completely depend upon YouTube material online. I've never used a book. YouTube has been my best friend till date, I can tell you. Sir, please tell us about data science careers. Data science, man, I'm not in data science, so I cannot say much. But yeah, it's one of the fields where a lot of work is happening. It's a very naive field, very good for anybody who has good with maths. It's something that is for the future. So try to get big data knowledge or any other knowledge you can get in that field. Guys, any other question or we are good? Are you guys able to hear me?
Sir, there's one question on CP. One guy asked Karthik. How should one approach?
Karthik, good morning, sir. What should be the approach while doing competitive coding? Competitive coding, by you mean to say interviews or while solving the coding challenges?
Challenges, I think challenges.
So, yeah. So when you go for challenges, so the best thing I can say, see, there can be situations where you are not able to think of the optimized solution and not able to do it. But I say all the time, make notes. If you don't know an approach, learn an approach so you can use it next time. Try to break problems. Don't think. So sometimes we make a mistake that we get a question and say, okay, let's solve it this way. And then we start solving it directly. Don't go for that approach. If you are too much into like, I need something written, then only I can understand it, write a pseudocode. Once you write a pseudocode, try to break that into modular functions. Break them down into smaller functions. For example, if you want to do a particular task which involves sorting in that, don't start writing the code for sorting. Make it a block, make it a function, make it a smaller helper functions. Make a helper function. The job is to do sorting out there. And now once you are done with all the steps of your code, now think of optimization. How you can optimize. Okay, I have a sorting problem here. How can I go for a better approach? Should I do binary? Should I do quick search, quick sort out there? If you're searching out there something, should I do a linear search? Should I do a binary search out there? So try to break your problems into smaller tasks. Try to optimize it. My senior advised me Python is the easiest language. Can I give Python? So when your seniors say Python is the easiest language, I can tell you they say why they say it. So Python has a very, very vast libraries. So the amount of code that you need to write to solve a question in Java and C++ might be 10 lines. Same thing you can solve in 2 lines in Python. But with that, I will say I haven't seen very big applications written in Python. Many big applications will be written either in C++ or Java. So yeah, for interviews, Python is a very good language. You can go for it. But in terms of big applications, I'm not sure. I'm not that sure that who is using it. The companies that I know, none of them is using it in developing the applications. They might be using it for big data analytics purpose, but large applications I haven't seen by Python. Sir, what was your first job? My first job was Infosys after I graduated from college, bachelor's. What cultural changes you saw in the society while, oh man, this thing, so the question from Achinte is like, what cultural changes you saw in the society while doing MS job in US with respect to India? If I'm going to tell you guys what I've done in life after coming here, you might think that, oh man, what he's talking about? Can you do these things? So one thing that I feel which is very wrong in our society is not letting kids work. When I was in bachelor's, my dad was giving me pocket money. When I was in school, my dad was giving me pocket money to do, okay, beta, you want to do this, take 50 rupees, take 100 rupees and do it. Rather than doing that, they should have asked me, go beta, work somewhere and earn that money. Go and work in a cafeteria, go and work in a restaurant, work as a waiter, work as a cleaning person, work as a swimming instructor, work as a coding instructor, work any skill that you have. Use that skill and earn money. this thing that I learned in US was during my masters. When I joined my masters, I came to know that each and every one who's living in campus is doing something. So when I joined my masters, I worked in food services. So I worked as a waiter also. I worked in kitchen also with a chef. I've done that 3-4 months of my starting. So just to take care of my expenses. One thing that it helps you develop is it removes the element of shame from you. You should not be shameful of doing anything in your life. And this thing that once you remove that element of shame, then you can do anything in life, I can tell you. Means you will not think that what other people will think about it. Most of the time in Indian society, we have this problem. Sharma ji ke bete ne to ye kar liya, tum to ye nahi kar rahe ho. So this mentality of this pressure that it brings to you guys, try to remove that pressure. Try to do small things yourself and don't hesitate in doing small jobs. You are going to learn something from that too. Abhishek Tyagi, what the first pressure to do any in US? By any, what do you mean? Masters in engineering? And what's the total expense? Please explain me the details.
Yes.
So masters in engineering, uh, uh, basically it's not called masters in engineering in US, it's called masters of science. So US doesn't have engineering fields. US has everything is MSc, BS, BS, MS, Masters of Science, Bachelors of Science. So total of expense, what I spent in my bachelor's, I took a $30,000 loan when I came for my master's. 30,000 is around 21 lakhs. I didn't have the money, so I took a loan. And I can tell you when you think 21 lakhs in India, that, oh man, 21 lakhs, I can tell you, I finished that loan in less than 6 months of when I started working. So don't think of expenses when you're thinking for education. Think of the fruitful future you're going to have once you're done with that. And whether it's MBA, whether it's MTech in India, go for it. Don't see the expense. You're going to repay it in 1-2 years maximum. Just don't worry about that. Worry about that what you're going to gain. If you think you're not going to gain anything, don't go for it. Details about masters. So masters, if you divide it into a scale of 100, it has 4 different segments. First 25% is your GRE exam, which is the exam that you give to get admission. Second is called statement of purpose. Here, basically in masters, they want to know why you want to do masters. So you have to write a 2-page or 1-page document, Microsoft document, explaining why you want to do it and what you have done till now in your life to make you eligible to do that masters. Third thing is your GPA. So that problem is there in US. Your GPA of India matters in our UPT. Percentages are not good. My percentage was 76 around. So percentages are not good. But again, I have seen people with low percentages also getting into good colleges based on the research they have done. So the last 25% is research. The efforts that you have put down in your labs, the projects that you have worked on, it makes a very big difference. So in case you have worked on, somebody has worked on, some project which is quite similar to a project a professor is doing here, or it's in the domain. For example, somebody was talking about data science. So you have done some very good analysis on big data and you have used it in some big projects. And then now you're putting that projects in your resume out there. It will matter a lot. It's taking loan to study is easy. Man, you need a guarantor for that. So for me, my uncle was a guarantor. So you need somebody to guarantee for you that, you're going to pay the money back. Any other questions, guys?